Hello, good evening, and welcome to UPfront. Now, the President of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has reiterated his commitment to working hand in hand with chiefs, traditional leaders, and all stakeholders in the fight against Galamsey. Listen to him.
Even though for centuries we have been a mining nation, mining did not pose a threat to the health of our environment and water bodies. The rules that you put in place for mining ensure that the sanctity of our lands remained intact and our water bodies remained unpolluted. Tragically, in the modern era, that is no longer the case. And that is why I've come to you today to talk about how together we can repair this dramatic situation. Since I took office on 7th January 2017, nearly 6 years ago, I have made it a central feature of my presidency to lead in the efforts to rid our country of this menace, which we all now call Galamsey. Indeed, it was an important aspect of my inaugural address of that day. It has not been easy. It has not been popular. And we have not got the immediate results that I was looking for. My stance on the issue cost my party and I significant losses in the mining communities. It turned out that my statement that I was putting my presidency on the line in the fight against Galamsey was neither bombast nor recklessness. It was the simple truth. We have tried many initiatives, including that of the community mining scheme and the establishment of a new legal regime for dealing with the perpetrators of this phenomenon, which has imposed severe sanctions on those Ghanaians and foreigners convicted of illegal mining. Still, we have not won the fight.
Well, tonight we'll put a spotlight on this country's crunch meeting and that of the admission by the president that the war against illegal mining is far from over. Joining me in studio from Parliament and representing the Abura Asebu Kwamankese constituency is the Deputy Chairman of the Mines and Energy Committee, the Honorable Elvis Morris Donko. Honorable, you're welcome to UPfront.
Thank you, Ray.
I hope you are doing well this evening.
I'm doing very well.
Also joining us via Zoom is a former minister who tried his very best maybe, to fight this particular canker that we are dealing with. I'm sure you know that in the last 2 days, we've been trying to put a spotlight with that important hashtag, No to Galamsey, telling you the very massive devastation that's still going on across the country, that's destroying water bodies, livelihoods, and basically everything that we have held dear, which is perhaps prompting the president's decision to actually engage in this. But let me start in the studio because it's important, this milestone that we appear to be having along our fight against Galamsey. Honorable, let me welcome you once again. I mean, from where you sit, was this absolutely necessary, this engagement with Chiefs and MMDCEs in Kumasi today?
Thank you and good evening to your listeners. Whether it was necessary or not depends on where you are coming from.
Okay.
For me, it's very necessary because there's no harm in trying to retreat what the government is doing to stop Galamsey or government soliciting support of chiefs, elders, DCs, MMDCs, whoever is involved in this gold business. The president started from somewhere. Okay. Before he became president. You remember he went to some of the mining areas, and one of his speeches, he said, when he comes to power, he's not going to put a stop to Galamsey, but he's going to make sure it functions well, but not in an illegal manner. When he came to power, he said, we have to do something as a country. We can't just sit there for our water bodies to be destroyed by people who are looking for money, who are looking for gold. we can't just sit and watch people just degrading our forest and our environment. So as a government, as a president, he has to do something. So what he did was to bring Galamsey, if you remember, to try to fight the Galamsey. We couldn't achieve what we wanted to achieve as a government. So on the line, as he said in his speech, he says, oh, I am going to even put my presidency on the line. For a president to make such a statement, it's no joke. It carries a lot of weight. Whether good or bad, my presidency is on the line, and I'm going to help fight this illegal mining. And
but
what did
the evidence today does not suggest that if nothing at all, that was really not a factual statement he said.
Oh, no. It was, because it really had an impact on the election.
Which part of the presidency was on the line?
Yes, because people voted against him.
Really?
Yes. I'll give you some stats. I was just trying to look at some of the constituencies.
Yes, I'm hearing that. Let's go through it.
Yes. So, Christian Honey Valley. In 2016, NDC actually had 49%, and then NPP had 47%. But in 2020, NDC had 58%, and then NPP had 38%.
10% loss, yes. What's the big deal with that?
The MP...
It's not as if the MPP was winning and they later on lost.
Oh, no, I'm coming. But just go through the trend.
Okay.
The margin wasn't that huge. From 1992, you can go and check.
Yeah. But
we were holding on to power when it comes to the parliamentary seat.
So mostly...
I'm coming. Dentura West.
Oh, no, continue, yes.
Yeah, Dentura West. Yeah, Dentura West.
So you're basically saying that these are areas Galamsey is happening big time?
Big time.
Right, okay.
But we reduced our margin of votes there in those constituencies.
Oh, okay.
Dentura West, MPP in 2016 had 49.3. NDC, no, it's the other way around, 50.7%, and then NDC had 49.3%. But in 2020, the margin went down. We even lost the presidential, which we've never, ever done before, ever. Another example is Taquan Swayim. In 2020...
So let's put on the same plate. No, these are just parliamentary or presidential results?
No, presidential.
Okay, yes.
Even it has so much impact on the parliamentary.
Okay.
Dentura West, MPP, they've never lost the parliamentary seat before.
Okay.
It has never happened. But for the first time in the history of our politics, MPP lost in Dentura West.
Okay.
And with the presidential, NDC rather had vote more than the MPP. Look at Taquan Swayim. In 2016, MPP had 62.2%. NDC had 35.1%. But in 2020, from 62%, it came down to 51%. And then NDC had 45%. So this clearly showed what the president said had a very significant impact on the election result.
How many? How many districts do we have mining districts in the country today?
Oh, I can't relate it, but
there were 9. They were increased. I just want to know whether indeed. I mean,
yeah, because it was all of them. The president.
But you have selected 3 out of these.
Yeah, because the 3 is more or less. I didn't want to go to Ashanti
where
region.
The picture is pointing to or support your argument, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
but if you go to the Ashanti region, Eastern region, it's the same. We lost votes there. You can just go and check.
But, I mean, even if it's so, why do you draw down to the point that merely because you lost votes in an area is because the people were not allowed to do Galamsey?
Yes. Let me give you a typical example. Those who are doing Galamsey in some of these places, who are from my constituency, the eve to election, they came in their numbers, went around giving money to people to vote against me and my government because we don't want them to eat and feed their families.
So who said that?
Oh, the people from those mining areas who are from my constituency.
Oh, I see.
They came in their numbers with buses. They say, oh, President is say, oh, my meaning the president said he's not going to allow us to eat and feed the family. So you have to vote against the government. It clearly shows.
I'm sorry, the question I'm asking is post-election.
Yes.
That's when you know the reasons people voted for you or did not vote for you.
Exactly.
Who has done the survey that suggests that these were the reasons why the votes were reduced?
Oh, no.
As for attributing it to
No, it's part.
it could be 1,000 reasons on the table. And you know that, right?
I totally agree with you.
Yes.
But if you talk to even pro-NPP people, those who are strong NPP people on the ground, they will tell you, oh, because of this, your policy, we are not going to vote for you. They will tell you.
Sorry, because you insisted on letting the laws of this country work.
Yes, because we said we are going to get them to be accountable.
Because you flashed
legal mining.
Because you flashed out criminals. That's criminal.
We're trying to do that. Yes.
Yes, and you're saying that because government decided that we will not allow you to do the crime, because of that they did not vote for you.
Yeah, it's a factor. You can't write it out. You can never write it out that because of what the president said, it never had impact on the election.
No, I'm saying that to show me proof of it, it should be something more concrete than differences in voting numbers with no backing qualitative data. I hope you get my point.
I get your point. But
and government has
but
enough time since the beginning or after the election to actually show proof of it. They have not seen, and I've seen the CDD do service post that.
Yeah, but as a party,
supporting that.
As a party,
we
have our own internal checks as well.
I see. So that's where this is from.
Exactly. What led to loss of an MP in Dentua West?
Except that if you want me to corroborate this, I would need an independent source to corroborate it. I hope you get a point.
Yeah, maybe you can help us.
Yes, because this is my first time I'm hearing it, but I'm not hearing anybody in government give me anything beyond, we lost something.
No, but it's a factor.
But is it wrong?
You can't write it out.
Sorry, but is it wrong for you to lose votes merely because you are doing the right thing?
That's why the president put his presidency on the line.
Because he won the election. I mean, it rarely was the presidency on the line.
It was.
Really?
Yeah, because if he had not done anything about that, the vote might have increased.
What did the president exactly do that led to this vote loss?
Yeah, you remember Galamsey. They were like...
As in the deployment of...
We deployed police men, soldiers, going around, stopping these people.
But this is not the first time we had done that, right?
But this one was very intensive.
I see.
Yeah, compared what happened at first to what just happened in our government. What some party did, what some governments did, how they fought it, and what we did. It was because this was very intense.
Intense means you deployed more military people?
Not more military people, but we tried as much as possible to even come up with other policies that will actually push these people out. But
like what?
But we couldn't achieve the result that we wanted to achieve. This one, I'll be very frank with you. In our first thing, we couldn't do it. There were so many lapses from how things were going. That's why when...
And who was responsible for that?
Yeah, the government was responsible. But you see, the government can't also... Because at first, we just thought, deploring... Or just deploring these military men, this police, will help solve the problem. But we came back to the drawing board. We saw mere deployment of police, of soldiers can't solve the problem. So what do? We came to the drawing board. That's where Jinapo took office. He did a national consultative meeting. That's why some of you...
Which is really no different from what's happening today anyway.
Yeah, but we have to reiterate what the government is doing. We have to let people be aware. This is more or less like an awareness creation.
Give me a second. I want to check
getting the chiefs involved.
Honorable, yes, give me a second. If the Honorable Idris Afuseni is on, yes. Okay, so certainly I should be able to get him on board if he's on, because I wanted to hear his views on this particular point, though. But you are making the point about we need to reiterate to the people that that's what's happening. Now, exactly. To many Ghanaians and the independent watchers in this country, government dropped the ball 100%. And that government, more than any other group, knows where Galamsey are, where they are operating, but it just doesn't have the political role to deal with the problem.
Well, I'm sure
that's
the government
the underpinning principle.
No, I beg to differ.
Really?
I was coming to the first phase not really working. We came up with another strategy. What did we do? Okay, let's just get the traditional leaders involved anyone who is a stakeholder, let's bring them on board. We did a national consultative meeting. There was regional consultative meeting, even district ones, just for people, just for landowners, just for chiefs, elders, whoever, to know what the government is doing and what the government is doing to stop those illegalities. Galamsey has been in existence from the beginning of Gold Coast, Ghana.
Yes, but the extent of damage is not like what's happening now.
Exactly the point. So, whom can we get involved? Is it only the people who are involved? Is it the chiefs? Is it farmers? Who are stakeholders if we really want to fight Galamsey? We can't just tackle it on one hand and leave the other. It has to be holistic.
You in Parliament, especially on the Mines and Energy Committee, are you impressed with the fight so far? Obviously, the president's not impressed, but are you impressed?
No, we are not, because we are not there yet. We've not really achieved what we want to achieve as a country. Because if a chief is just giving out the land to people, that's what the Chinese ambassador told us. If a Chinese comes to Ghana, the Chinese man or woman doesn't know where the gold is. It's our own people who show them where the gold is. And this one, I was alarmed. I heard from one journalist saying over 50,000 Chinese who were involved in illegal mining from 2005 up to now, about 50,000 of them were sent back to their country. 50,000.
Shouldn't you know this? Because you're on the oversight committee of Parliament.
No, well, I don't have to know the numbers. I was just alarmed with the numbers.
Are you not briefed about what's happening with that?
Yeah, but not numbers.
Oh, okay, really? That's
not numbers, yeah.
Because it's a question I'm asking you in this area.
Because 50,000
Because many people feel
Chinese
that if they have failed, it means that you have also failed in Parliament.
No, we are not failed. We've not failed because we are not directly responsible. But if you say we have failed...
Yeah, because it's not done enough of the oversight work.
No, but doing an oversight work doesn't mean you have to really be on the field to enforce, because we make the laws. There are people who have to enforce the law. Yes, we have a section where we have to assure that those laws are being obeyed, or those laws works for the country. Mm-hmm. But there are law enforcers who have to enforce that this law, that law is actually enforced. But if you are saying we in Parliament, yes, we can do more. But it's not
How many times are we holding the minister to account for the level of destruction and the kind of damage that's ongoing today?
Oh, as a committee, we call them from time to time, and it's not even only about the minister. Minerals Commission, they are advisors to the minister when it comes to mineral mining and minerals issues. So just about 3 weeks ago.
Yes, okay.
Just about 3 weeks ago, we called we were with them at a workshop. From there, we went to Takwa to see some of these things, what is happening and other things. On the 18th, as a committee, we are calling the minister back again. We are engaging the minister himself to tell us what has been done so far. And personally, I always ask the minister questions on the floor of Parliament about the gold catcher. I don't know if you are aware of the gold catcher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how many has been brought to Ghana? What is the use of the gold catcher? How can Ghanaians or people who are doing illegal mining or small-scale mining benefit from this? Another question, this government, in a way of promoting legal mining, brought in the Local Content Act.
Yeah.
So the local content, I asked a question on the floor of Parliament, what the minister is actually doing to educate Ghanaians about this law. How can Ghanaians benefit from this? So my brother, all that I'm saying is, yes, we've not been able to have 100% success in this our fight, but this government has really done very well.
I'll come to that. You're saying that
which we will go there.
You in the committee of Parliament have actually been doing a lot of work, also checking up. And you say you have a date with the minister on the 18th.
Yes, 18th.
Exactly what is he supposed to come and talk about?
No, where we are now and the way forward. Fighting Galamsey, his tenure as a minister, what has been done? What has he do? The way forward, what can be done?
The people who say that I mean, if you are really serious about it, we would have had MMDCs, would have even had, if not ministers and deputy ministers resigning and being sacked because of where we are. Do you agree with them?
Oh, I totally agree with some of these comments, because every MMDC know where Galamsey are. But we learned in the daytime, when you go there, you will never meet them there.
But the man is in charge of security for the
in the daytime
district, and security men don't work only during daytime.
And you'll be surprised they have their people even within maybe the security setup. They have an informant. Oh, they will know these people, police, soldiers are coming there at this time. When you go there, you wouldn't even meet any of them.
So you mean the MMDCs are not to be held responsible?
No, they have to be. They have to. They have to. That's why we have even BNI officers in the district. I will be very happy to talk to some of. I will be happy if you can get some of these BNI officers to ask them, do they know where they are? What are they doing? The time they go there, they should know. As an MP, you don't expect me to know these things. At Wasamenfi, at where they do, but somebody who is responsible for the security of a district, he or she has to know some of these informations. So, my brother, so the MMDCs have to be held accountable. They have to, because they know where all these people are. I was on one of your sister stations, and I told them, point blank, some of these MMDCs have to be sacked if they are found in this Galamsey business. And I even learned they've been taking kickbacks. When the people go and do their Galamsey and they get their proceeds, they get percentage out of this. And it's not only about these MMDCs, even before and before and before. But I don't have any proof ahead that this is what is going on. So if you're an MMDC and you found doing this type of business with the illegal miners, the law has to take its course. And you have to be sacrificed in terms of the fight against Galamsey. So I will also call on the president to take an action when it comes to some of his MMDCs. I don't know them. I don't know whether it is true or not. But if it is true that some of them are involved in this act, nothing should prevent the president from sacking them. Now, I totally support and I agree.
Now, the question I'm also asking here is that you seem to be very convinced the MMDCs are directly responsible, but I don't believe that the minister is directly responsible.
Oh, no, like, he has his own responsibilities as well as a minister.
But he should not go, right?
No, it depends, because he's not directly involved in, unless you have a proof that Minister Jinapo is involved in this Galamsey. I am saying
so he has
MMDCs,
to be involved before he leaves office. Oh, merely not being able to fix the problem is not enough?
No, he has shown commitment.
What's that? And what is that? How is that evidenced on the ground? The commitment, how is that evidenced on the ground?
Yes.
Because it still happened. There's a lot more distraction today. So what is the commitment yielding today?
When it comes to chasing out and arresting armed robbers, the police are doing a lot, but it is always happening. Galamsey, it's a very lucrative business. It is not just easy to tell people to just leave and then we have our clean water.
The difference is that if
Jinapo, from where I sit,
if armed robbery is on the increase today, people will still be demanding that the interior minister either is removed from office or he resigns.
Yeah, but here's
the question I'm asking you.
Yes.
Do you think that the current lands and natural resources minister is fit for purpose? He can do the job. He's delivering.
He is fit for the purpose. From where I sit, from some of the policies that he actually put on the grounds.
Like what?
Like the community mining.
Complete failure. You know that, right?
It is not.
Really?
I'm going to talk about it.
In fact, it is the enabler for the current Galamsey happening.
No,
you know.
No, it is not. If you like,
yes,
we can set a date. Let's visit some of these community mining. You see, it is not about just somebody putting a signboard.
Where is this successful? Where is it successful?
Where?
Where has community mining been successful?
Go to Tinga.
Where?
Tinga.
Which district is that?
It's in Savannah. Go to even Takwa. There's a community mining. Community mining doesn't mean you can just go for your pickaxe and be digging. We can go through it. It's like
I know what the
it's a whole
said from the
comprehensive.
beginning.
It's a whole comprehensive program. It's not just somebody, a chiefs and the people just gathering to say we are going to have a community. No, this minister, in his tenure as a minister, they've bought boats to patrol our waters. You don't know about? You've never heard about this?
They've always been boats to patrol our waters.
Not always. It was recent. We have 5 boats.
You can say there's been additional ones, but there has always been boats patrolling our waters.
How many? When? No, maybe you can help me.
Before
They've bought new pickups, 20 of them, for monitoring. You see, if you are telling me the minister is a total failure, no.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I see.
I don't.
But MMDCs can be held responsible. But the minister cannot be held responsible.
No, the minister can also be held responsible. I said if the MMDC has a share in whatever proceeds that these people get from their gold business, why can't they be sacked?
Give me a second.
If we hear that Honorable Jinapo is involved in some kind of illegal business in this gold thing, what prevents the president from sacking him?
But you don't think that merely because he has not fixed the problem, he cannot be removed?
He's still fixing.
Oh, he's fixing it. I see.
No, but will it just take a day to fix a problem? A Galamsey problem?
It's taking this government 6 years.
If you were to go and sit
it's taking this government 6 years.
Yeah.
And it's getting worse by the day, actually.
When did we stop fighting Galamsey? Every government comes and tries to do something.
It appears that under this government it's getting worse by the day.
No. Yes, because more people have seen there was more. It's very more.
It's now more lucrative. Is that what you're saying?
It has been lucrative from the day of Adam.
Honorable, I get you. Let me bring in Honorable.
From the day of Adam, not now.
Yes, Honorable, I'll bring in Honorable Minister Hussaini. Let me get your thoughts on this one first. Will this be the panacea to our current endemic distraction on the ground when it comes to Galamsey? Is the president's involvement with chiefs and MMDCs a step in the right direction? Is his presidency truly and really still on the line?
Raymond, good evening.
Good evening to you.
And I see you are putting honorable member under the spotlight. Well, the president's decision to engage with the chiefs is one important step in the fight against Galamsey. I mean, you can't take that from the president. I mean, when I was minister, I had said that the chiefs should be a critical component in the fight against Galamsey. And I had said that paramount chiefs who have the authority to make sub-chiefs should hold their sub-chiefs responsible because Ashanti will not go giving out land for illegal activities, but his sub-chiefs might do that. And so it is important to recruit the support of the paramount chiefs, the kings, to help in the fight against Galamsey. So, yes, it's important. You see, but the question is the lack of trust. I mean, why Galamsey has been on the ascendancy is simply because people no longer trust this government to fight Galamsey. I mean, we have a plethora of evidence to show that government simply just turned a blind eye when it needed to act. When it needed to act on the over 700 excavators that went missing, government chose not to act. When it needed to act, when 838 Shamfans were found on River Ofin, government did not act. When it needed to act, when the Chinese national was arrested, Aisha 1, government chose not to act. And so, and there's quite a body of evidence, substantial evidence, pointing to the fact that senior party officials, and I mean NPP party officials, were involved in Galamsey, and government chose not to act. There is evidence that some DCEs are involved in the nefarious activity of digging up and ravaging our lands. Government chose not to act. So you see, there is now a trust deficit which government is trying to repair, and it's going to be difficult.
On that point, though, forgive me, I need to interrupt briefly, The president earlier today gave the indication that a single DC is being asked to account or respond to claims of being involved in Galamsey. This DC, however, has not been able to respond because he has the wife is bereaved. So I think he's lost a family member, and that's the reason why he has not been able to come up with a response that the government has been demanding of this particular individual. Is that assuaging enough that the government is taking on its own? Because he said categorically that he's not going to shield anybody involved in Galamsey. This is the president I'm talking about.
So,
yes, Honorable Minister Hussaini.
the president should, and who has been put, because of his present predicament, he should not account to the state for allegations against him until such a time that he is somehow relieved of the bereavement. I don't think that is.
Sorry, I think I've lost you. And if you can take a step back and perhaps repeat the point for me,
Yeah,
Honorable Minister Hussaini. I have a terrible line with you. We should be able to fix that.
Well,
yes, I can hear you.
I'm speaking on my phone, and
Oh,
I'm sure people are watching.
I'm happy. I'm happy and excited by your apparent tech savviness, but I need you to speak up a little bit louder for me so that I can hear you properly. Say.
Well, I'm saying that while it's not an excuse that is acceptable. I mean, I don't think that government can simply say that because the DC is bereaved, he should not account for an office that he occupies, which is a public office. Is the DC going to be paid during the time of his bereavement? Is he going to be paid with public resources? And so, I mean, these are the little things that the president unwittingly puts into the public domain that makes people question his commitment to fighting Galamsey. Clearly, the president should not have been heard to have said such a thing.
But his main point is that he's not backing, he's not protecting anybody found to have been involved in this dastardly act in his government. That's the exact point he's seeking to make.
No, he is. Not that he's come out to say publicly that he's supporting people who are desecrating our lands, who are polluting our water bodies, and who are contaminating our cocoa fields, which is threatening the ban of our cocoa to European markets. He's not come out to say that he's supporting them. But his actions lend support to the activities of these Galamseyans.
And you are not convinced the commitment he's making to you and many people in this country. And that DC we are talking about is the Bosome Frehu DC Yao down. So he was someone to clear his name in the illegal mining in his area. And of course, he said his spouse is passed. That's why he was actually being kept away from giving the response that's involved in here. But the question I was asking you is, by the very commitments that the executive leader of this country has given, I will not protect anybody. Is that enough to see us end this fight against Galamsey in a successful way?
It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. Raymond, it's not enough, and it's not convincing. Because clearly, he's demonstrated in the past that when it comes to putting monetary considerations for the country, aside the fight against Galamsey, alongside the fight for Galamsey, he will choose monetary consideration exercise when he decided that Aisha should be deported and not prosecuted.
Now, you brought in Aisha once again, but the very understanding I have of this is that this is a new path government is seeking to chart. There's an admission even on the side that the fight has not gone as well as he thought it should go. And there are those who are demanding that a lot more heads must roll to show he's committed to this fight. You agree?
I agree entirely. And honorable member also agrees that those who are found culpable must account. People must be held responsible. I mean, you can adopt a half-hearted approach in the fight against illegal small-scale mining. It is precisely because of this half-hearted approach that the menace seems not to be abated. And so I agree. And then many people will have to account. Many more people, starting from Dr. or Professor Profom Boaten and his supervision over the initial attempt to fight illegal small-scale mining, coming all the way to the Dunko Onofin DCE, who sat unconcerned when people were putting champagnes on the Offenso River, all the way to the customs officials who sat aloof and allowed about 2 million ounces of gold to be exported out of this country between 2017 and 2018, when there was a total ban on illegal small-scale mining, or small-scale mining in general. And so, yes, but let me quickly add that the honorable member is a member of parliament. He says that community mining is doing wonderfully well. Which particular law supports community mining? If you can answer that for me.
Okay, well, interesting.
Yeah,
yes, I mean, I think he will bring in that part. Okay, no, you want to do so quickly. I think that's okay for you to bring in that.
Yeah, Honorable, good evening. Actually, Honorable Hussein is one
How are you?
Good, one MP that I really respect so much and hold high esteem. There are some comments that he actually made that I am really preventing myself getting there. But I really have to respond to some of the things that he said. He mentioned Aisha 1 or Aisha N being repatriated back to her country. This is the first time. When did she come? He was a minister. And my first question to him as well, Honorable, you were a minister, the same ministry. Your tenure, what did you do as a minister? Were you able to stop Galamsey? That is the first question. Aisha 1.
Would that help us stop it now?
What do you mean?
With the question you're asking?
Oh, no, but we have...
It's important because I am actually going forward.
We have to know where we came from.
Oh, I see.
And where we are today.
That's how we're going to fight
and where
it
we
now.
are going to... No. Just from what he said.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
I don't want to go...
No, granted, I agree with you.
I
just want to be a little more forward-looking, yeah.
Yeah, government officials being involved in Galamsey. Mm-hmm. So can Honorable, honestly, tell me, his time, there was no government official involved in Galamsey?
Is that why you're not prosecuting the ones?
What did they do? No, you see, that's why I don't want to.
He says there was no government official.
Oh, there was no. Then praise the Lord. If there was no government official, then we really thank God.
But why did you ask the question, though? Do you have anybody in mind?
No, I don't have anybody. But I'm just asking him. Because maybe Galamsey just started...
But he says there was none. I'm asking whether you had anybody in mind.
But maybe Galamsey just started in 2017 under this government. But Galamsey has been in existence from... That's why I asked him what he has done or what he did as a minister in terms of stopping Galamsey. Today, there are over 3 million people directly and indirectly involved in Galamsey. 3 million. Is it that easy just taking 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, getting all these people off the site? For me, it doesn't just take a day. It's a real fight. It is a real fight. Honorable asked me, under which law?
The legal basis for
yes. Honorable, the community mining.
Yes.
If you look at your own act, that's the Minerals and Mining Act 2006, Section 81 and 99. Section 81 and 99. It actually deals with... As amended, yes. It actually deals with small-scale mining. And this community mining, they register them as small-scale mining entity. I don't know whether, Honorable, whether you've actually gotten a copy of the manual, the operational manual for the small-scale mining.
You continue. I want the law.
Yes, so you asked me about the law, where we are drawing this community mining thing from. So I am pointing out the Minerals and Mining Act 2006, Act 703, Section 81 to 99, deals with the small-scale mining. That is one. So we are drawing the powers, our powers from the community mining from this. Because, Honorable
Member of Parliament.
Honorable,
sorry. Let's get here.
81 talks about those who are qualified, or a provision of the law talks about those who are qualified to put in applications for small-scale mining. Can you read that provision and tell me where you have community mining?
Honorable, your problem is maybe with the word community mining.
No, I'm talking about the law.
No, yes, but I've told you, all community mining scheme are registered under small-scale mining.
No,
I'm also telling you, they are registered under small-scale mining.
Hold on, let me hear him briefly.
A person.
So it is not illegal.
Sorry. Let me hear him.
A person, a group of persons, an association are those that can apply for community mining. I don't see anywhere in the law that can apply for small-scale mining. I don't see anything in the law that talks about community mining. What is that animal called community mining?
These people are registered under small-scale mining, which we can find it in the law.
Are they an association?
They are an association. So what the government does is...
An association of which people?
Those illegal miners, the government brings them together. They go through the registration.
When you say an association, it must be a legal entity.
Exactly.
So which legal entity?
Go and find out. All community mining schemes are registered under our laws. All community mining schemes, they are registered under our laws, Honorable.
So
they are registered under our laws. So it's not just putting a signboard there.
Sorry. Okay, I need to settle this thing in a nice way. Honorable Yusuf Husseini, do you have doubts about the claim that the groups come together, they are registered, they form a group, and an association is formed in that name, then they register as a mining grouping that can do small-scale mining? What's your difficulty with that?
My difficulty is that the idea of community mining, as captured in the documents made available for us to understand, is allowing the communities to mine. The idea is not bad, because where the communities themselves are mining, then we anticipate that they will be responsible in their approach to mining. So the idea is not bad, but are the communities mining? In fact, Honorable, let me tell you as a matter of fact.
Yeah, but Honorable.
The community mining is the catalyst for the widespread Galamsey that we are seeing.
Honorable,
because they are not regulated.
Sorry, I need to make the point, yeah.
They are not regulated. The people who have those licenses to mine under community mining are associated with your party. And so you are not able to control them. The DC is not able to control them. The BNI is not able to control them. How they apply and acquire those licenses, we are unaware. And so that is the problem. So one of the problems that this government has to solve is to give us a strategic blueprint of what community mining is about.
Very well. Hold on for me. Let me get a response to this.
Okay, so just for Honorable's sake, key characteristics of the community mining scheme: 1, it is a community-based program. Community-based. 2, it is small-scale mining operation in line with Section 81 to 89 to 99 of the Minerals and Mining Act 206. I've already said that. The scheme can also be operated under large-scale mining leases in line with tributary system. So it's not only about small-scale mining. So the community mining can either be small-scale or even large-scale mining. The scheme shall be governed by Code of Practices as stated in regulations 475 and 515 of Minerals and Mining. That's Health and Safety and Technical Regulation 2012 LI 2182. And this shall be signed by the operators with the Minerals Commission and shall be supervised by Community Mining Oversight Committee. This is found in our laws.
So what is the Community Mining Oversight Committee?
Please. No, from the District Mining Oversight Committee. They are there already in various districts. So
we have district mining committees. We don't have community mining committees.
Oh,
or you're adding them a responsibility.
So when this community mining is formed, Honorable, when they start operation, this committee have an oversight responsibility on the community mining. All that the government is trying to do is, if there was gold here, at your studio here, but these young people will start digging from maybe Circle before they get to the gold here, destroying the land. So the government is just saying, okay, I am bringing all of you together. Come, I am going to register you as a small-scale mining business. They go through the process.
What company? Under what company?
No,
you can't.
No, they will form their own. Yeah, they will form their own company.
Okay.
Or if you go to Tinga, if you go to Takwa,
yes.
They've registered.
Give an example. In Tinga, which company is doing their small-scale mining?
No.
The community mining.
They themselves.
What's the name of the company here?
I don't have the name of it.
Okay,
but,
all right, no problem.
But
you're convinced that they have already registered something like that?
Each community mining scheme, they are registered under our laws with Registrar General. That is one. Okay. They go through the normal legalities if you want to operate a small-scale mining. They go through that. So what the government does is, either government gives them the lease, government do all the paperwork and everything for these people. Or, I remember we went to Adamus in the Western region. When there was this clash between the company and also the local people, because the local people thought they are not being, the company has not been fair to them because they can't even get any place to mine. So as a committee, we asked them to collaborate with the Minerals Commission for them to get them some acreage of land for the community members to also start doing something there. So with this, they can come together as a cooperative, go through registration and every paperwork, and the government can recognize them as a community mining scheme, like as part of the community mining scheme program. So the government will have an oversight responsibility on them. So I can't just go and mount a signboard or a billboard to say, we are doing community mining. Community mining is being regulated by the Minerals Commission.
I get your point.
So you can't just go anywhere and
we need to wrap up.
I am doing community mining.
We need to wrap up on this conversation. Let me start with you, Honorable Minister Hussaini. Are we on the right path with these new engagements? Are we likely to win this war?
We are not. I don't see the multi-stakeholder approach. That's why I'm saying that probably this is the time that we should employ self-help. The communities, elsewhere, like in Australia, communities have rights. And so even it's in our law, where before you are given a permit to go and mine, you need to hold open fora with the community where your mining activity is going to take place and explain to the community people why you are coming to mine and what you are going to do for the community, including how you are going to remediate the land. And so if the community is dissatisfied with the way you are going to go about your activities, they can reject the permission to go onto the land. After all, it is the mineral rights that government has and not the land.
Very well.
So I think that we need to begin to enhance the community rights issue so that communities, like when I went to Chicheure as a minister, the Queen Mother of Chicheure told me that, and she spoke in Twi, said, but no omun science, you know. Now, she was lamented because the people come from elsewhere to pollute their water bodies and go away. They bring bottled water to drink. And when they finish their destruction, they leave them with polluted water. And so if the Queen Mother and her colleagues and fellow community members had rights, they could stand up against the invaders, the people who come to pollute their water bodies. So I believe that
I need to go.
This is the time for us to enhance that.
All right. I actually need to go. Thank you so much, Honorable Yusuf Hussein. Final words to you, Honorable Maurice.
Yes, I would say the best way to go is to making people accountable for what they do. Even the president, the vice president, ministers, whoever. If you get yourself involved in this illegal mining business, you have to be held responsible. Nobody is above the law. Nobody. Like with this Akwinta thing, whatever. If indeed the person has wronged the law, the person needs to be brought to book.
The Ashanti Regional Chairman.
I don't. Whether my mother, my father, Ashanti Regional Chairman, Central Regional Chairman, whatever. I don't care. The law is the law. No one is above the law. And another way to go, my brother, is the community mining.
I get you, but unfortunately my time is up. And
maybe
yes,
you have to
we should interrogate this
Minerals
further.
Commission to go see what the community mining is all about.
I'm grateful.
Not just digging and...
I'm grateful. We sure should be able to talk more about this, but thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on today's edition of UPfront. Many thanks to you for watching once again.